So I did take another little hiatus. December was a very busy month for me work-wise. So in January, it was super important for me to kind of gracefully take a step back and take time for myself, replenish myself, and just replenish my energy. And also in the South, it has been so cold, consistently, 4 days now. And when it gets like this, literally, all I want to do is run and hide in my bed and hibernate. And essentially, that's what I've been doing the last few weeks. That's where I've been. And in the meantime, I was talking to God a lot, talking to the divine and spirit, receiving downloads, receiving messages. And something that is beautiful, that I love, that came out of this little break of mine, is I finally named and wrote down and articulated in writing the specific process and framework that I use for myself, my lineage, and also my clients when it comes to healing. And it's something that I've always kind of known and used on myself. Like I've told you guys before, I've been doing inner work and healing since I was 12 years old. Yep. Like, I am just an old soul, and I've been here enough times to where, as far as age progression goes, like, it didn't take me very long to figure out, like, we got some shit to work through for us to progress. Not only in life, but, like, from a spiritual standpoint. And I finally was able to write my framework down and the specific process that I use, that I know works. Nothing, of course, is one size fits all, but it's my tried and true. And a kind of paradox that I came to realize with that is, even though I have that framework in place, the thing is, healing itself is not linear. Even though in any type of healing, you do have a step-by-step process, whether it's physical healing, like a doctor, an MD, a physician, the diagnosis. There's always some type of diagnosis when it comes to healing. And then, now that you identified what's going on, how do you fix it? Right? And healing is just very complex. It's not linear. And I know from experience that we can get to a certain point in our journey where we get frustrated and we feel like we hit a plateau. Or maybe even we feel like we're backpedaling and relapsing, if you will. And a lot of people beat up on themselves when this happens. And that is probably the worst thing that you can do for your healing process, because imagine you have a wound right here and you're putting the medicine on it. You're putting the healing ointment on the cut, right? But at the same time as you're doing that, you're taking a little razor blade and yourself. Every time you are harsh towards yourself, every time you beat up on yourself, it's kind of like energetically yourself. The YouTube gods, I have to censor myself, I'm sorry. But y'all know what I'm saying. You're trying to heal one problem while causing others. And it's human nature to be critical of ourselves. Mina Arfan explained it beautifully. She is also one of my favorite spiritual gurus and YouTubers, if you want to check her out. And I am not quoting her word for word, so please forgive me if I miss something or I don't explain it correctly. But the way that she explained it is, from an evolutionary standpoint, our inner critic, that mean inner voice, is an evolution mechanism. Because we would intake information from the tribe, right? And kind of try to adapt to their wishes and their wants and their needs and their criticism of us. Why? Because back in the day, if you got kicked out of the tribe, best case scenario, you were kicked out and exiled. Worst case scenario, you were unalived. So you can kind of understand why that inner voice adapted to sound like a tribe, to always be on top of you, to always be critiquing you, so that you kept the peace, right? But if you've been through a lot of trauma, or you're like me, and you are the torchbearer for your lineage, you are the black sheep, you are the cycle breaker, you are not only dealing with your own personal past life trauma, but you're also dealing with ancestral trauma. And that is not an easy weight to carry. And the best thing you can do if you feel yourself getting frustrated on your healing journey is do your absolute best to have compassion with yourself. Hold yourself accountable, like, don't bypass, but have some grace with yourself. Especially if you're a healer like me. Like, we can be so hard on ourselves when it comes to our own healing, because deep down, we know we have these gifts. For a lot of us, these gifts and skills and skill sets that our soul carries have been forged and cultivated over lifetimes. And so we know we have this power within us to heal, and we feel like it should be easier for us, right? And when we see someone else struggling in their healing process, it's easy for us to have grace and patience. But we don't give ourselves that, because we know we have strong healing abilities. And it's just, you have to slow down and give yourself grace. It's not easy. And it takes time. And if you really, really feel like you are at a plateau in your healing journey, the first thing I want to say about that is make sure that you have, if possible, a good holistic care team in place. Meaning, most importantly, have a good relationship with a physician, a medical doctor, a primary caregiver, an MD, or DO. I prefer MDs, but I almost went to medical school. I was very close to going to medical school. Didn't do it. But doctors, like, I've had some amazing doctors over the years, and the best ones will tell you that as you are working through emotional and spiritual issues, it's likely that some type of physical manifestation will occur, because that energy and that trauma lives within your body somewhere. It's literally stored in your cells. Again, whether it's ancestral trauma in your DNA or things that you yourself went through, right? Like, it's very common for us to have physical symptoms when we are either very deep in trauma or very deep in healing. So get yourself a good doctor. Second most important is a good mental health professional. Be honest with yourself. Like, I love spirituality. You guys know I'm on year 6 of my business. And even I will tell you that I get so tired of people spiritually bypassing. Because mental health issues are real. A lot of mental health issues are caused by trauma that you experienced and or genetics. Depression can run in families. Other mood disorders can run in families and be hereditary. Like, chemical imbalances are real. And this is coming from me. who I've seen it. Like, there were times when I was deep in a depression, I spiritually cleansed myself and my space, and I felt 10 times better, and the issue went away. But that's not always the case. And sometimes therapy is necessary. Like, sometimes you need a mental health professional who knows what they're doing to talk things out with. Okay? And then after that, get yourself a good spiritual healer. I'm here for y'all. There is nothing that I love more in this world than connecting with you guys. And having our phone calls and talking to you and talking you through things and giving my personal insight, both from what I've been through, from what I've seen, and also Spirit's guidance and their perspective, and helping you little by little work through these issues. Because I did it by myself for a long time, and I can honestly tell you, when I went to a spiritual professional, in my case, my madrina, my godmother, for help and guidance and healing, like, I remember every single conversation that I've had with my godparents. Like, to the point that I can still hear their voice in my head in certain moments telling me things. Because that's how deeply I paid attention to their guidance. And that creates, like, almost quantum level leaps. Like, having their guidance helped me make more progress just by one phone call than I would have done by myself over a course of a few months, just doing it all alone. So as human beings, when we are in alignment and we know our shit, we can really help each other make positive changes. Because the truth is, sometimes you just need someone to see you. Sometimes you just need someone to witness you and talk you through things and listen to you. You know? Like, as human beings, if we can get to a certain point where we're taking good care of ourselves and we're in alignment and we have these healing abilities, we really can change the world. But we have to come first. Like, I still have things that I have to work through. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not shy about it. I don't always go into detail publicly about what they are. And there's some stuff that I will never share. And that's okay. Certain things are between me and God. But I have realized that a lot of times, especially in my coaching sessions or when I'm doing readings for you guys, when Spirit is talking to y'all, a lot of the time they're also talking to me. So as you are receiving healing and guidance, so am I. And light bulbs will go off. And it creates positive changes for me. So we really do have this ability to stand shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart and crown to crown and connect and be there for each other. And if you are interested in the offerings that I have, you can go to sirensnectar.com. I offer spell work, I offer spiritual healing, I also offer a mentorship that is tarot and witchcraft combined for 12 weeks. And my spiritual healing container is very, very limited. I'm only taking 3 clients for that healing container. It is one-on-one. It's not a group setting, but I'm only taking 3 clients at this time because it takes a lot out of me energetically, and I want to be able to give you guys the best advice and healing and spiritual medicine that I can. So check that out on my website. I also offer divination. I'm a psychic medium. I am a high priestess. I've been an initiated high priestess for almost 5 years. And divination is my thing. I'm incredibly psychic. I'm very deeply connected to my spirits. And I'm able to kind of see past the veil, see past certain illusions and glamours, and really bring forth light and truth. And another thing that helps on the healing journey is receiving a spiritual court reading. And essentially, what this concept is it is my belief, and along with everyone else within Espiritismo, that when God creates us, and when we're born and come to this earth, we have what's called a spiritual court. And essentially, it's a frame, a group of certain ancestors and spirit guides that walk with us from the moment that we're in the womb and our soul comes into the womb and merges with the body and we're born, up until the day that we transition and move on to the other side. So throughout our entire lifetime, we have a certain set of spirits that accompany us. And I've heard different numbers, different theories. Some people think we have about 100. I've also heard other people say that they believe we have up to 300. It just depends who you ask. But regardless, we have a significant amount of spirits that walk with us. And usually you'll have about anywhere from 5 to 10 in some cases, especially if you're a practitioner, that walk with you. And you'll have your main guide, your main spirit guide that's like this. You'll also have your guardian angel, your main ancestor, and then you'll have a few others that are very close to you, but they're not that one, right? So there's different levels to your spiritual court. And the reason that this is helpful on your healing journey is a lot of our spirit guides are healers. A lot of them, the ones that were incarnated on Earth at one point, were shamans, medicine men, medicine women, priests, priestesses, doctors, nurses, nuns, different types of healers in different ways, and they can really guide you on your specific healing journey, because my journey is going to look different than yours, right? If you are someone that, let's say that you have the divine ability to lay hands on someone and heal them, you probably have a doctor within your spiritual court, or a nurse, or a nun, because a lot of nuns were nurses back in the day. But you'll have some kind of guide that was a physical healer in their life. And when you are laying your hands on people and giving them this healing energy, you are not only giving them some of your life force and your magic, but that spirit guide is also kind of channeling through you. And they'll also intuitively guide you on maybe what herbs to use or what prayers to say and things like that. That's just one example. Me being a psychic medium and a spiritual healer, because I say this in every healing video, but I have to continue saying it. I am not a physical medical professional, and I'm also not a mental health professional. I am a spiritual healer, okay? But me, I come from a part Romani background. I have a lot of gitanas and gitanos, fortune tellers, crystal ball readers, tarot card readers. You know, they talk to spirit, they talk to the divine, they channel, they relay information from spirit. And so they did that in their life, and they themselves have that healing ability, and so do I, and we work together. I also have other spirit guides that help with other forms of spiritual healing, but my point is knowing what energies walk with you and what they're good at and their purpose in your life is very, very helpful. And I know for me personally, for a long time, like, I've always known I was a healer. A lot of y'all know my original plan was to be a nurse, and I did go to nursing school. I did not finish because at a certain point in nursing school, my daddy passed away, and I had to move out by myself because my daddy was taking care of me and whatnot, and that chapter ended. But I've always had this energy of being compassionate and soft and kind, and just, I've always wanted to help people. And where was I going with this? I just lost my train of thought. It is almost 4 o'clock in the morning, y'all. But this is when I do my best work. But anyway, I've always known that I was a healer, but once I got my spiritual court readings and I got my spiritual court together, complete game changer. Not just for myself, but also for my clients. Excuse me. It really helped me to step up my game because I knew what would come to me most naturally and what would be easiest for me. So, if you would like a spiritual court reading, I do offer them as well. You can get that information on sirensnectar.com/booking. It's a 50-minute session. Y'all know, my loyal clients know, 9 times out of 10, I go over on sessions on time with no extra charge. It's just what happens. But it's typically a 50-minute plus session, and it's $165. And if you're new to a spiritismo or you're curious about your unique healing journey, that is a great place to start. Because your ancestors are also part of your spiritual court. And your ancestors will kind of guide you on what are the main issues and blockages that your lineage needs to work through. Okay. But I have a lot of different offerings for you guys. Just go to sirensnectar.com. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment down below. Or you can text me at 678-390-0688. And for my international clients, just text me on WhatsApp. Okay? I love y'all. I'll see you again soon. Bye.